Hopefully it's a great fall for the Philadelphia Eagles and winter, and it looks like it will be because the team, they just win every single week, and they've been doing this now for the better part of a year, but it's how they win, Hugh, that gets everyone all interested and excited and ramped up every week, and the way they won on Sunday, that was different because they went down and then they let the pass game take over, and look, yesterday featured a lot of excitement after the game, not only because it was a great comeback, but because we saw the passing game emerge here in a way that hadn't been present for the first 2 games of the season, wasn't present the first half of the game. And Hugh, now the question is, should what they did in the second half now be the offense? So Hugh Douglas, let's start here. The Eagles have been, I would say, for about a full year, a run-first football team. And after halftime on Sunday, they came out and they threw the football, and that was a pass-first football team. Hugh Douglas, is it time to flip the switch? Is it time for the Eagles to roll with what we saw in the second half? Should the Eagles now be a pass-first football team? Feed AJ, feed Devontae, let Jalen Hurts cook.
Would you allow me just for a moment? Because I understand what you're asking me, and I'm going to answer the question.
Okay.
But I want to answer it in long form.
Okay.
Because I feel it's not filibuster time, Joe. It's just like, I feel like when you and Kyle ask me these questions, y'all want yes or no answers. And a lot of times,
that's it. Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not an easy yes or no. So to answer the first part of your question, yes, I do want them to pass the ball more. But it is. I feel like they have to go in games and be more aggressive, because I feel like the last couple of games that they've played in, that and I've heard people say as much, is that they try to figure out, haven't fixed that chime yet, if that's what you're doing with it.
Oh, it's great.
I haven't fixed. I don't know what he did to my watch, man. I don't know how to fix it.
I got to tell you, it's great for radio.
Maybe leave the watch at home.
I don't know how to, but this is my favorite watch.
Yeah.
But my point is,
It's a live show. Go ahead.
I feel like they have to be more aggressive at the beginning of the game. And the way that you be more aggressive on this team is you got to throw the football. I think that you have to let them know that you have 2 of the most dynamic receivers in the NFL at any given point in the game, and you have to respect that. I think part of the problem and part of the reason why the running game hasn't been what we've been used to seeing is because there's no threat of the passing game. So, yes, to answer your question in long form, yes, I think they need to throw the ball.
All right, you got there. It wasn't that long. I mean, it was long. The watch beeping didn't help, but you got there. All right, I was excited yesterday. I was excited on Sunday, and I'm glad the passing game found its teeth, because we had no teeth in the passing game for the first 2.5 games of the season. But there is already a push out there. I could feel it. I could feel it from A.J. Brown after the game. We're going to hear from him here. I could feel it from Jalen Hurts after the game to now flip this thing. I just think we shouldn't forget how the Eagles got to where they got to, and that is being more of a run-first team than pass-first. You said you wanted to kind of workshop this. I'm going to workshop it with you. So, Hugh, I'm not asking the Eagles to come out and run the ball 3rd and 15, 3rd and 13. I hated that as much as you did, right?
Yes.
The give-up plays, the draw plays. I mean, enough. Trust the quarterback and let him throw on passing downs, of course. Jalen Hurts has earned that trust. He is a good quarterback, a very good quarterback, and he's earned the trust to be able to throw on 3rd down and not just hand it off. That's a joke. That's playing not to lose. But I can't just, after 1 half of football on Sunday, just scrap everything we've done here for a year. Here's what I want. I would like them to be more of a balancing. Now, if that means throwing earlier in games to get a lead and then run after that, that's fine. But pass first, that makes you feel like it's the Tom Brady Patriots in the second half of his career. That makes you feel like it's the Peyton Manning
Manning
Colts.
receivers than he had for most of his career.
They do. They don't quite have Tom Brady, though, but they have better receivers.
He's somebody showed the numbers of him and Tom Brady. They're pretty comparable. Like I think it's the first 5 seasons in the NFL or something like that.
Yeah, but the game was different 20 years ago.
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if we believe in Jalen and if they believe in Jalen like we do, let him throw the ball.
So I want him to throw more, and I'm fine with that. And I think they've gotten too conservative, and I like the word you used, aggressive. They should be more aggressive. But pass first gives the connotation of we're forgetting who's in the backfield there. I mean, I'm not forgetting what Saquon Barkley is because of 3 games. I think the Eagles need to find a balance, and they need to be more aggressive early so they're not behind in games and then they have to throw. But the idea of just becoming a pass-first team, I can't sign off on that because of 1 half of good football. That's rare. The Eagles don't throw the football like that often. They don't throw the football with that efficiency often. It happened on Sunday. Jalen Hurts, he got all his props yesterday from every one of us, and he earned that. He was great in the second half. But pass first is flipping the entire script of this football team. 215-592-9494. I can tell you a couple of guys that probably do want to become a pass first team. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Let's listen to A.J. Brown first, talking about that conservative offense that he kind of wants to move off of here.
Me personally, I truly believe, man, we got so many good players on this team, and at times, you can feel like we're being conservative. And I don't think it should be like that. I think it should, let your killers do their thing, and play fast and play aggressive. I'm not saying that we haven't been, but me personally, that's what I would like. Obviously we're gonna run the ball and we're gonna set up the run off the pass and the pass off the run. But we have a lot of good players and I feel like you should just let us go.
There's AJ. You could tell he felt it after his big second half. Let us go. We've got great players. And then, of course, there was Jalen Hurts on the field right after the game. And I thought this was pretty telling because Jalen could be really buttoned up in those press conferences. He says the right thing. He avoids. But after the game, I thought this was real coming off of Jalen, off the second half of what he said. Here's Jalen Hurts on the offense and what they should and shouldn't do moving forward.
What are you going to take away from a victory like today?
Man, regardless, it's always good to get a win. It's always good to get a win. And if that doesn't show you what type of team we are, I don't know what does. Now, we completely did that to ourselves in the first half. Completely. Absolutely completely did that to ourselves. And that's something we gotta fix. It's as simple as that. It's unacceptable.
It's like you guys said later for this. Whatever happened in that first half, forget about it. Let's go and show who we are.
We play so many styles of football where in that first half, we got to get out of this plan not to lose. We got to come out aggressive and play our game. You saw our game in the second half.
I agree with him on that part. They got to come out and the playing not to lose, Hugh, and I think you highlighted this yesterday. I heard Ike say the same thing, and I agree with both of you. I'm tired of the draw plays and the give-up plays on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. You know what that is, Hugh? That's when you don't trust your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like a rookie quarterback, right, pinned deep in his own territory. I get that, right? Just hand the ball off, punt, and we'll live to die another down. We don't want to throw an interception here. Jalen Hurts is 6 years in the NFL, Hugh. He's earned the right to be given the ball on a 3rd down, and I'll take my chances that he will not throw an interception. I don't know if he's going to get a first down every time. That's hard to do, right? 3rd and 10 is hard to get a first down on, but I'm with you on that. Like that's playing not to lose. I think that bothers him more than anything else.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times going into these games at the beginning of the game, I think we're on offense. We want to see how we're going to be attacked.
Yeah,
and I think that's what kind of gets you in trouble because you're trying to see different formations and things like that. How they're going to come out and attack certain things that you do. Just attack, be on the attack. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, in order to do that, throw the ball. Because when you start doing that, when you start dictating the game to other people, then you put the defense on its heels. They have to try to catch up to what you're doing. I think a lot of times, especially in these last couple of games, we talked about it. We talked about how, what are they doing? And then Coach Patullo comes out, KP, and says that the first 15 plays or whatever plays, they weren't scripted. They just kind of want to see what's going on.
Yeah, which
I believe
is weird.
that.
Yeah.
No, you are the most dynamic team in the NFL when you look at every player that you have. You talk about Saquon Barkley. You talk about Skinny Batman. You talk about Big Batman. You talk about this offensive line, and yet you're still running around waiting to see what somebody's going to do to you. You need to be the aggressor. You need to go punch people in the face instead of waiting to see, or be a counterpuncher. You need to go out there and you need to start punching people in the face.
I agree with that. And look, I think the Eagles could do – they can achieve some more aggression without becoming a pass-first team. They can just trust the quarterback. The quarterback has earned the trust. If you don't trust Jalen Hurts to throw the football anymore, I think you're crazy. You should. He's a good quarterback, and he rarely turns the football over. He makes smart decisions with the football. But when I hear pass first, I think almost a flipping of the script that's gotten the Eagles where they are.
It's not a flipping of the script, Joe.
But over the last year, they've run the ball when the game is close more than anybody else. Mm-hmm. So pass first would be a pretty dramatic change from that.
It's okay. Say first 15 plays are scripted,
right?
And I remember Andy used to do this every now and then, especially when T.O. was here. Andy would open the game, and it would just be a gut feeling. He was like, "Hey, we're going deep." He said we would be on the sideline, and Andy would say, "Hey, watch this." and he would go deep. On the first play of the game,
Boom!
He would throw it deep. That's what I'm talking about. That's not getting away from your game plan. That just lets teams know that you're not afraid to pull the trigger.
Right.
And I would send, if especially in this Tampa game, knowing what our history is in Tampa, it's going to be hot. I send both of them cats on go routes.
So I like that. The other part of this is, because we always do this about coaching, right? And we spent a lot of yesterday on conspiracy theories about who's calling the plays in the second half. But by the way, Nick Sirianni addressed yesterday. We'll get to that coming up.
What Coach talking about?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Who do you believe, Douglas or Sirianni?
You need to believe me.
We'll get to that coming up. But some of this is on the players too, Hugh. I mean, like when a pass is called in the first half, I need Jalen to let it rip, right? I think when he was speaking after the game, I think he was probably talking mostly about the coaches letting them be aggressive, but he could be aggressive too, right? They're going to let him throw at some point in the first half. Let it rip. But he came out with an urgency in the second half. The whole passing game did that I think we all love. 215-592-9494. All right, we saw the offense wake up in the second half by being clearly a pass-first unit. I mean, you could probably count on one hand the times they ran the football in the second half of the game. I don't even know how many times. It was very few, especially running back runs, not Jalen taking off. Should the Eagles now become a pass-first team after a year of being a run-first team? Kyle, what are you feeling as the Eagles are 3-0, but we're trying to figure out what this offense is?
I mean, well, it feels pretty obvious what they should do here. I mean, that second half was one of the best halves of offense that I've seen the Eagles play in. I'll say a pretty long time. They had a pretty good passing attack in the Super Bowl, NFC Championship game. They were throwing it, the Steelers game. Like every chance that the Eagles have had to show that they can be a pass-first team, pretty much since like those first 4 games of the season last year, they've passed every test. Like I don't know what more you need to see, especially now with the way that we're starting off these games with Saquon not really able to get going and nothing really able to get going when they're playing conservative. Like that is clearly the best version of this offense. Like I think it would be best for them if to get Saquon going, like they can let Jalen Hurts cook in the first half. Like nobody wants to have to come back in games because they start off trying to run the ball and running into Cam Jurgens' ass like 20 times. And nobody wants to see them slog their way through 60 minutes of football to get through like they did with the Chiefs. So like, why don't they start throwing the ball to AJ, Devontae Smith? They have absolute monsters out there. Dallas Goedert too. Like they can put themselves in position to then run the ball in the second half. Like I think the balance will come because you are a pass-first team. You open things up, and then you open everything up for Saquon Barkley. Like I think right now it looks like the best recipe for them is to start using those weapons on the outside and open up the playbook like we saw in the second half. Like that was so clearly the best version of the offense that we've seen. I think they should try to just tap into that for the rest of the season, and I think they'd be in pretty damn good shape, especially with the way the defense is playing.
215-592-9494. I'm glad you brought up the defense because that's the other part of it. You could protect your defense by running the ball a lot. I mean, that's what they did last year. Time of possession, part of the reason the Eagles are so great at time of possession is they run the ball so much. That they hold the ball. Possessions take a while. It's less time for their defense to be on the field. And I know the defense buckled down the second half, but they're getting kind of cooked in that first half. I mean, we throw a lot. That means more possessions in the game. It means more time the young defense is on the field. It's all part of it. Where do you come down? Should the Eagles now become a pass-first team?